want to say good morning, Stumpy? Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome back. It has been a long time since you've seen me. That is because I've either been working or because it's been so wet that we haven't been able to get out on the farm. We've also been doing some renovations inside the house to the kitchen and the bathroom, so that's kept us busy while the rain's been coming down. But now we have not clear blue skies, but blue skies, which is good because I have 2 weeks off. I'm not sure that Ian is happy about that, because usually me having time off means work, work and more work. But anyway, hopefully we get a lot of jobs done. We're down in the paddock this morning about to plant up some more of the rows. Stumpy is with us. Stumpy, you want to say hello to everyone? And Ian is out digging holes, ready for me to start planting. It is a glorious day, and I just hope that it stays like this for the whole 2 weeks of my holidays. We are trying to train Stumpy that when he comes out with us, he can lie in the back of the tray of the side-by-side, because he's been getting bitten by ants when he's been rolling around the grass, and his belly gets all sore and lumpy, so lumpy Stumpy. That's what he was yesterday. So he's slathered in creams, and now we're trying to teach him that he's probably better off up out of the way of any ants. Anyway, he seems quite happy up there. What do you say, Stump? Hey guys, it's the next morning and we have another glorious day of sunshine, which makes a change when we're picking canistels, because every year, I swear every year, right?
Yeah.
That we've picked canistels, we have been picking in torrential rain. We've been like drowned rats when we get back to the shed.
Or I have.
And it's just been miserable. But today, for once, we've had sunshine, so it's been beautiful. So, out picking these beauties, and they need to go back up to the packing shed now and have a soak in the tub, get them all looking nice and shiny, and then pack them up. And while we were down here, we've been looking at the jackfruit trees.
You've been getting distracted. Come on, let's go.
So how exciting is this? The jackfruit trees are flowering, fruiting. So this one here, if that's in your view,
yeah,
this one has got all the little pollen receptors out now. So the female fruits that will come, the little insects will happily pollinate them. This is good. And then we've got more fruits coming here. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. And just here was more fruits that were coming, and we only allow one per stalk. Otherwise, you end up with a lot of small ones, don't you?
Yeah. So very exciting things are happening.
Let's get cleaning these, then back out to thin out the jackfruits.
Yeah, but first I'm hungry.
Oh God, you're always hungry.
I know.
It's all I ever hear. Feed me, feed me.
So all the canistels are picked and packed. It has been a long, hot, sticky day. Not that I'm complaining about the glorious blue skies and sunshine that we have. So I thought, why not finish the day with a dip in the pool, a glass of wine. Let me tell you, the pool is cold. Because now we're coming towards the end of May, and so we are starting to get cooler nights, cooler mornings, and it really takes the temperature of the water down. So it looks really inviting, but then once you go to step in, it's like, whoa, that is cold. Anyway, I braved it, I dived in, and now it's fine. It's so refreshing and uplifting, but I can tell you that there is no way that Ian will be putting even his big toe in this pool, because for him it has to be like soup. Anyway, perfect end to a perfect day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll probably see you tomorrow.
Morning.
Good morning. It is Friday, 23rd of May. So that means that we are getting ready now to take the Canistels to the transport company to go down south. And then after that, we're going to pick up some more potting mix to fill the garden bed so we can start and grow some veggies. And then there's supposed to be some rain on the way at the weekend, so we want to get out and do some more planting in the paddock so that the trees will have a nice settling in period if we do get some rain. How are you going there?
Don't worry about me. Don't worry. I'll keep working.
Okay. You're doing a fine job there. Stumpy's helping.
No end.
Hey, Stump.
You got to have somebody that does the work and somebody that gives the orders.
Hey folks, it's the next morning and the blue skies have gone. We have rain, which was predicted. So anyway, we've come down to thin out the jackfruits because they are madly flowering and setting fruit. So we've come down to do that. But we're also, while we're going around, we don't want any of this coming on the trunk. So we're also taking these off.
They would end up sitting on the ground, wouldn't they, if they did set fruit anyway?
Yeah, and we certainly don't want anything below the grafts. So do that while we're going around and then looking to see what's fruiting. They are very sneaky and sometimes they will fruit high up in the canopy. So they're the ones that we really, really need to look out for, and I'll show you on this next tree because I just spotted some.
They hide amongst the foliage,
And
don't
yeah,
they?
you just don't see them. And then we're wondering, oh no, how come we've got so many fruits on this tree and how did we miss these? But it's because they hide. We can see the ones around the crown very easily, but yeah, up here they are very, very sneaky.
Well, a couple of these didn't fruit last year because the year before they had like 8 and 9 fruit on, didn't they?
Yeah, and so then they kind of took an off year.
Yeah.
So now they're going gangbusters. That's just a fruit coming everywhere. So when we're thinning out, obviously we want the fruit to be in a position that's beneficial for such a big heavy fruit. So we don't want anything that's on some flimsy branch high up in the tree because they just won't do anything. These ones that are on a solid trunk with good thick stems, that's what we're looking for. But at the same time, we also don't want multiple coming off the same because then they've got to split their energy between all the different fruit. So we just want one. So when we come to look for thinning out, we look at the shape of the fruit. Are we happy with it? Is there any marks? from branches or leaves, and then we just prune off the ones that we don't want and just leave the single one. After that, then we'll look at how many fruit do we want this tree to carry, and that can vary depending on how old the tree is.
Yeah, first year we try and limit it to 1, maybe 2 at the most, don't we?
Yeah, and then an established tree, we might let it carry 4 or 5, and we try and split that among the different branches.
Yeah.
So that we get good sized fruit.
But also that it's at a height that makes it easier for checking for ripeness and for picking.
Yeah.
So that we're not climbing.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things. We don't want to be climbing.
So these ones are ideal. So for example, for this one, I'm pretty happy with this fruit. And this one here has got a mark on it.
That's probably insect damage, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd probably get rid of this
Yeah.
one and let this one carry on doing its
Okay
thing.
then. Say sorry to tree.
Sorry, tree. We also make sure when we do cut off excess fruit that we're very careful about how we cut it, because we don't want this latex to be dripping on the fruit that we've left behind, because that can also mark that fruit.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. We always make sure that the branching is the ideal height so that Angela can sit down and have a rest.
In the tree. We've got some lovely jackfruit starting to come on this tree. So we've got one coming off this branch here and one coming off the main trunk. And what we found in previous years is that the thickness of the stalk can really determine the size of the fruit that we get. So we love when we see these nice big fat stalks coming off the branches and coming off the trunk.
It's a good, well, over a centimetre thick, isn't it?
Yeah. And also the closer to the trunk they are as well, when they're coming off a nice sturdy branch or coming off the trunk, we tend to get these lovely fat stalks, and then we get lovely big fruit, as opposed to some of them which we might find later and show you if they're coming off really thin, weedy stalks. They just don't really amount to anything,
No.
do they?
Well, then this thick, strong stalk here can carry a lot of weight and also feed a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas a thin stalk,
spindly stalk.
like, it can't let the fruit get that big because it wouldn't hold it, and maybe it's not capable of feeding it
properly. Yeah. So that's something that we do look at when we're thinning out as well. If this tree was to have, say, 10 fruit on it, we would favour something like this over something that's on spindly stalk or in the top of the canopy that's hard to reach.
Yeah, it just makes life easier if it's a nice height, doesn't it? For checking whether it's ripe and for picking it.
And with this one here, this currently has got the 2 fruits that you can see.
Third one coming by the looks of it.
May even get a third one. We tend to wait for the fruit to get a little bit bigger before we determine which one we're going to let go, because we want to make sure that it has been pollinated properly and that there's no marks on it, and then we look at the shape and decide from there which one we're going to cut off and which one we're going to let go to maturity.
Let's go see what else we can find.
So this is an example.
Zoomed in there, all I got was your nose. Okay. There goes Bluey. You should have kept walking.
Oh, I should have done.
Should have, could have, would have.
Trying to film the kookaburra very fast. So this is an example of one that we've just cut off because really thin stalk.
And that fruit would never amount to a good size.
Nope.
And we've got plenty of others on the same tree with a better stalk and also in a better position.
Yeah. Here's another example. So see how thin that stalk is, and it's not on a very supportive branch anyway. It's right out at the end here.
Yeah, there'd be risk of, even if it did get to a good size, risk of like breaking the branch, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but really thin stalk, as opposed to, if you turn around a little bit, something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
or even up here.
oh yeah, that's a ginormous stalk. And then another one over there. So you can see just on this tree, we've already got 3 fruit that are on really fat, chunky stalks. So in terms of thinning out, this is definitely one that we would be taking off. And then it becomes mulch.
Say sorry to the tree.
Sorry, tree.
Didn't mean to hurt you.
We just cut this one off. It was here. And the reason is because of its shape. So you can see it's not really uniform. It hasn't really been pollinated that well, and especially around the neck.
Yeah.
And also
That dent
there, the dent. So definitely not pollinated, and a really odd looking shape compared to its successors, this one and this one, which so far seem to be much better pollinated, much better shape.
And again on a good thick
Yeah,
stalk.
that's really fat stalk. So we obviously don't want to keep all 3 fruits because we're not going to get good sizes. We only want 1, but this one definitely had to go because it wouldn't have looked good.
It's got to look good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's crack on. Keep going.
Can we have a break? Because I'm hungry.
Oh, Jesus wept. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to feed gremlins after a certain time because they turn into little monsters. Ah! That's abuse.